Guys, today we've been hired by Mr. Burns to perform a black box security assessment against a nuclear power plant. We've been given no credentials, no internal documentation, just pure network access. So this isn't a red team stealth engagement. We're not trying to stay hidden. The goal is to get as many weaknesses as we can, demonstrate the impact, and show how an attacker could compromise his domain. So black box basically means we're starting with zero internal knowledge. We've got no usernames, no passwords, no active directory structure, nothing. We're just going to do it all from scratch. And the objective is pretty simple. Can we move from zero access to full domain compromise? So let's take a look at the picture I've drawn here, which if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know I'm terrible at drawing. We've got Burns Tower. That's obviously where Mr. Burns works with him and his executives. We've got the reactors, pump house, reactor building where people like Lenny, Homer and Carl work. And we've got the offices for things like, well, your offices, canteens. And we've also got the server room, which is located in this building, which is greened out there. If we take a look at one of the servers or the server racks, so we've got our disk arrays, we've got some patch panels and switches and a firewall. So someone there from their IT has been nice enough to plug our Kali machine in for us, or they've provisioned a Kali box for us and plugged it into the switch. Now again, because this is a black box assessment, we don't know what network we're on or anything like that. We don't know what targets we've got. Mr. Burns has said that the scope is fully open. There's nothing out of scope, so we're allowed to do what we want. So any target is valid. So we will connect over to the Kali box in their network over VPN, so we can do the assessment from the comfort of our home on our free monitors. So I'm going to keep this as a reference. So we're going to start off pretty simple because we don't want to get too complicated too quickly. And as we do go through and we start getting into more complex scenarios, it'll be good to refer back to this because we can then see whereabouts physically in the environment we actually are. So exciting stuff. Let's not hang about, let's just get straight into it. Okay, move into our folder. Probably good to create a cherry tree as well for our note taking, which is built into Kali by default, which is brilliant. Call this power plant penetration test, and then Control-Shift-N, create a new node. Call this one scans. There's always going to be some nmap scans, so I'll create that by default. Right, so it's a black box assessment. We currently have no idea of any networks, of anything at all in a minute. So what do we do first of all? So I think a good place to start is let's run a TCP. Well, actually, the very first thing we should do is check what IP we've got. So we're on a 10.10.0 network and nothing else. Okay. So straight away, we could do a scan on this network and see what's happening. But before we get into that, let's just run a TCP dump to see if we can capture any traffic moving across the network. And I'll probably save it to a file so we can load it up later if we need to. Specify our interface. Use W, just call it capture.pcap. So we can open it up with Wireshark. Sudo. Okay, so that's now listening. So we'll just leave that running in the background for a little bit. Let's cancel that. 7 packets captured, so it's pretty quiet. Obviously on a real engagement that would be a lot busier than that. So let's open it up and have a quick look at it. See what we've captured, anything of interest. Not a lot. So we've got some ARP requests, some address resolution protocol, which basically maps IP addresses to MAC addresses. So it's saying who has 10.10.0.150, that's the network we're on, till 10.10.0.51, so I'm guessing, so it looks like there's a host address of 51 there. Nothing else, so pretty quiet. Okay, so let's close that down. See if that one responds. It does. So let's just do a little ping sweep We can use fping for this, which I think is built into Kali by default, so I've not installed it, so it must do. And pass in our network range, which is 10.10.0.0/24. See what that comes back with. So 1, I'm guessing, is going to be the gateway. Not sure what 2 is, to be honest. 11, that's us. We've got 50 and 51. Okay, so that's finished. Let's save those in there. Might also make a scanned folder as well. And then I'll save those into a targets file. And then we can run an nmap scan. Actually, before we run the nmap scans on the targets, let's just see if anything different comes back. So if we do a sweep with nmap instead. It's always worth being thorough to see what comes back. So here we've got 1, 2, 50, 51 and 11. Yeah, it's the same as what we had previously. So if we actually do a proper nmap scan now on the targets, IL for target file. Okay, so that's finished. I'm actually going to create a subfolder for all targets. Paste that in there. And let's have a look at what we got. So all we're interested in is 50 and 51. So if we look at 50, straight away it just calls out as a domain controller because we've got Kerberos, got port 88. All default domain controller ports are open. And got some domain information here as well. Springfield.local. So that's our domain name. And the computer's name is DCO1. So yeah, domain controller 1 for that one. And then the second box, not much else open on this one. There's some SMB ports open. And we've got message signing enabled but not required. Got the domain controller, which is this is enabled by default. Got message signing enabled and required. Message signing enabled but not required. So we'll definitely want to look at that, but not yet. We'll come back to that. And we have got a name of Homer's PC. Interesting. So I'm going to change our targets file. We don't need to worry about these top 2. Or even our own IP. We'll just keep them there for now. What we'll do now is we'll see if we can get any access to shares. Any unauthenticated access to shares. Pass in our targets list. Blank and blank for the username and password. Shares. So yeah, that SMB sign has come back again as false, which is we're definitely going to want to look at. Doesn't look like we can do any unauthenticated share access. Let's just get a screenshot of this because that's definitely a finding. Paste that in there. We save that, come back. So there's not much going on. So what we're going to do, now is see if we can capture any network hashes going across the network. So if we take a look at our responder file, so all these settings are good. So we can come out of here, we actually run it, and then just like that, we can press enter, and then we're listening for events. So now normally you would just leave this running, especially at busy times of day when people are actively going to be doing networks related stuff. So it's a bit of a waiting game for this. I mean, normally you'd run this and you wouldn't just stop and sit here looking at it, you'd get on with other stuff. Here we go, looks like we've got a hash for someone. So let's cancel that. Take this user's in there. So we've definitely got a copy of it. So now this is interesting because we've got Homer's NTLM v2 hash. So we can't. So unlike NTLM v1 hashes where you can actually pass them across and sign in with the hash directly, you can't do that with v2. So what we're gonna have to do is see if we can crack this and hope he's got a weak password. We paste that in there. So I've actually got a video. So if you don't know what's going on here, what I'm doing is I'm passing this hash into hash ID, passing the M flag so we can get the corresponding mode for hashcat. So I've actually just released a video on password attack. So if you don't know what any of this is, go and check that out. So now, so the hashcat mode for it is 5600. So let's just clear this down. Open up hashcat. We've got a hit, which is good. And there it is. Surprise, surprise, donuts, exclamation mark. Brilliant. Let's just create a new threads folder. We'll give that a nice colour, just make it a little bit more visible. Let's give it a green. And there we go. So we've got our first credentials now. So this is big. So now we can actually start enumerating a domain with a valid user account. So let's just double check that that is actually valid. So if we use netexec again, let's try that again with the actual targets file. Right. And we don't actually need to specify that, so let's remove that. There we go. So we got successful logins. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here because I still want to keep these videos kind of bite-sized so that we can look at them as we need them. So say we need to brush up on some unauthenticated domain enumeration, we could jump to this video. So this is good. We're in a good position. We've just got Homer's credentials. We know that Homer works somewhere in the reactor building. Now, just because we've got his credentials doesn't mean we've got credentials to his computer. We've just got his domain account credentials. It's a different thing. I'm going to leave it there. In the next one, we'll look at how we can use Homer's credentials to further enumerate a domain and see if there's any privilege escalation vectors we can utilize to further ourselves in the environment and ultimately take over the domain. So exciting stuff. Looking forward to the next one. I hope you are too. And I will catch you there. Bye-bye.